Hello, fans of Stalking the Wild Autoharp. I'm Hal Weeks for Stalking the Wild Autoharp. I forgot to talk about the harmonica. Sort of a relative beginner at it, but there's a story behind it, and kind of a long story. So sit back, relax, get yourself a cup of tea or a beverage of your favorite choice. Hunker down. I played the harmonica before I played the autoharp. Played the harmonica back in college, and when I picked up the autoharp, I put down the harmonica, sort of accidentally, but I really wanted to play it with the autoharp like you're seeing me do here today, and I couldn't do that because to hold the autoharp up and then use a rack requires a rack that doesn't bonk into the autoharp and get pushed aside. Now this rack doesn't do that, and I'm going to tell you about this rack here in a minute. But a normal autoharp or a normal harmonica rack, there's an arm here and there's an arm here. And that arm that's on the left-hand side gets in the way, and the autoharp ends up pushing your harmonica all the way over here. And it's no good. So you end up having to play with the autoharp down here and reaching around it, or you have to play with the harp over here like this. I've seen some people doing that, and I just didn't want to do that, and so I ended up not doing it at all. Flash forward to about a year and a half ago, I found a harmonica rack, this one I'm wearing now, that is great for playing autoharp. And I used to see these ones that had a rack or an arm on one side, and they went off the market or something. But then I found this one. This one is made by a company called farmersfootdrums.com. They mainly make things for buskers, drums, street drums, drums of a smaller size that are convenient for you to take out when you're busking. But the other thing that they make is this great harmonica rack. And so I wanted to tell you about that. And I worked with a fellow named Pete at Farmer's Foot Drums who was great at helping me make a few modifications. One thing that they say is to specify when you're ordering. That's another cool thing, is you can take it off without taking your hat off. They say to specify when you're ordering this, specify which side you want the opening on or which side you want the adjusting bolt on. I think that their default is to have it on the left, which would not work unless you were playing left-handed autoharp and putting it over here. So you need to specify that. And then I made another modification to this, and that is that the way it comes from Farmer's Foot Drums is that there's a disc here. It's just like this disc. It's actually a leather disc. I'll hold that up to the camera so you can see it. Hopefully we'll get some focus on that. This leather disc is duplicated on this side too, and it helps the not used to this yet. Helps the device to stand out a little bit from your chest here, and it stands on that. Well, on this side, it was kind of grinding into my chest because the autoharp was pushing on it when it was in playing position. So I turned it 90 degrees to the other one so that it lies flat on my chest. Now to make that turn, Greg helped me in the shop, and he applied a blowtorch to the aluminum here so that he could twist. I think he put it in a vise, and he twisted it in a vise just to turn it 90 degrees to where it was before. And then I wrapped it with my foam medical tape that I've showed in other videos, and that creates a nice pad, and so it doesn't slip around. It sits right there on the chest, and this is padded so it doesn't scratch the back of the autoharp. So I got mine set up with the opening on my left-hand side so that I could adjust it with my right hand, put it up here, and then the autoharp rides right in there, and it doesn't interfere with the position of the playing. So I could pick up playing the harmonica again, which was sort of an adventure. It was interesting, and in light of what I was talking about in the play a second instrument video, harmonica, I forgot to really mention harmonica in that video. Harmonica is a great, great folk instrument that, like the autoharp, like the uke, like the penny whistle, you can take, the sky is the limit as to where you can take these instruments, but they are easy to get started on. Now, I'm not going to do a harmonica video. There's other harmonica teachers on YouTube. They're fantastic. So another thing that Pete at Farmer's Foot Drums helped me do was he helped me with an adapter. Let me show you why. This is a Lee Oscar harmonica, and it has a steel case on it, which is magnetic. The magnets on a harmonica rack are real strong. They're rare earth magnets, I think, and they hold it really well. But some harmonicas are a different kind of material. It's called non-ferrous, and so it's not magnetic. And so the harmonica rack won't hold these. And if you want to use these, and there's some really nice harmonicas that are not magnetic, not a problem for Farmer's Foot Drums because they make a clip. This is like a lot of other commercially available harmonica racks that are, you don't need to have them magnetic because you can just slide in the harmonica, the harp, into the clip and then magnetize that. The clip is magnetic, and so it clips on there. So once again, I can use, I can use the harmonicas that are non-magnetic on my harp. But wait, there's more. I found harmonicas that I wanted to use that were non-magnetic, and they were too long for the clip that Farmer's Foot Drum makes. This is called a Lucky 13, and it's got some extra holes on it, and I'm not going to go into all of that, but it's not magnetic. So I contacted Pete at Farmer's Foot Drums. I said, can you make the clip a little bit longer? Ta-da! Pete made me a longer clip. There we had to go back and forth a little bit about the correct length. This one will actually hold a harmonica that's even longer. But now I can play my Lucky 13s on this rack from Farmer Foot Drums and get it adjusted just so. So, folks, it is a brave new world with harmonicas. Harmonicas are fantastic. They sound great with the autoharp. I'm not a very advanced harmonica player, and as I just demonstrated, you can go a long way in a short time. Great thing about the harmonica is you can play it without the autoharp, and you can play it anywhere. You can carry it any place, pull it out, play it. I like to play it while I wait for my carpool because I've got about 10 minutes when I stand around, and this gives me time to do that. See, part of my madness in showing my inability to play an instrument very well yet is to show that I'm struggling along, having fun, learning things too, and it helps me to help you. It helps me to remember what it's like to be learning something, and it always makes me a beginner, and I enjoy being a beginner more than I enjoy being advanced at playing something. Of course, if you are playing down flat, like we've talked about recently, if you're playing down flat, then you can use any kind of rack. It doesn't matter. But it's a Pop Stoneman played autoharp and harmonica together with a rack, and it works pretty well. Playing with a rack, you don't have the control over tone, and you can't move the harp back and forth. You have to move your head back and forth. So my battery died, so I had to start again. Not starting over though. Richter tuning is what you need if you want to play blues or straight harp and play melody. You can play all kinds of Irish tunes, any kind of hymn tune you want on one of these. Standard Richter, learn on this first. Harmonicas sound great with the auto harp. Well, that was really bad. Couldn't be worse. So I'm Hal Weeks. Thanks for walking. Thanks for walking the Walkin' Blues with Stalking the Wild Auto Harp. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.